What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, spending a little time with my dogs. I'm about to go ahead and try to put to rest this whole illegal immigration thing where Donald Trump is swooping up all of the kids on the border, him and all of his Nazi friends and his all those Nazi servants. They're taking the kids and they're putting them into child labor camps and they're beating them and forcing them into forced labor. And it's just horrible. It's a horrible situation according to the media and according to the Democrats. And then there's so much child abuse going on there. And it's just the fact that they're ripping them from the arms of their parents and everything. It's just a horrible situation down there, according to them. And we need to talk about it for a minute, okay? Because at some point, you have to come to the conclusion of either it's going to be this or that. You remember the song, this or that, this or that. What am I talking about? Let's start from here. First things first, for all of the people who are falling for all the hysteria and the moral outrage from the left, from the media, from the Democrats. You are receiving this data from Donald Trump's enemies. If these people can take something that can benefit the whole world, like peace with North Korea, and Donald Trump meeting with them to try to bring that peace and make that look negative, what makes you think that they're going to give you the correct perspective of what's going on down there on the border? Their whole job is to make whatever Donald Trump does look like it's the worst thing that ever hit the planet. Because if that wasn't the case, they would probably say, you know what, the same Nazi concentration camp and cages that they're saying Trump's putting all the kids in are the same cages and facilities that the Obama administration put kids in. And they would also tell you that out of those 12,000 illegal immigrants, kids that's over here, only like 2,000 of them came with parents. The rest of them don't even have parents with them. So my point is, when you really want to get into all of the accusations of this is child abuse and so on and so forth, first thing you might want to check is, do they really understand what child abuse is? Maybe they didn't grow up in the inner cities of Youngstown, maybe the inner cities of Chicago, but I've seen children that were child abused. And it wasn't a simple, you know what, I'm going to remove this child, put them in a facility to where they're getting taken care of, they're receiving meals. They may cry a little bit because I had to take them from you, but at the end of the day, they're not getting burned with irons. They're not getting beat with hangers. They're not getting starved. They're not getting kicked and punched and cussed at every day. They're not being taken out of school, never being able to even get a good education. They're not being told that they're dumb, worthless, all of that stuff that I've seen happen to American kids that suffer some severe child abuse, beaten, some even killed, raped by family members, things like that. They're not receiving that, but yet you listen to the left. So adamant about taking care of all of the other worlds, all of the other countries' kids, and their concerns that they don't care about all of the child abuse that's going on in America with American citizens, I guess. I don't know. They're not really big on solving our problems. They want to solve everybody else's problems. And the facility is so horrible. I mean, these are concentration camps. Well, maybe they need to go to some of the orphanages around the United States and see how American kids are living. Maybe their perspective would change. I'm not sure, because all of their attention is dedicated towards the facilities that these kids are in right now. It's just horrible. Little 2x2 feet cages, I guess, that they're in. And no meals, nothing, no heat, nothing. I guess they're just sitting in there starving in a dark lit room and told to shut up and all of that stuff. And I guess all of the orphans in the United States, American citizens, are living in mansions, I guess. No, some of those facilities are worse than the ones down on the border. And yet here they are talking about this is child abuse. Not to mention all of these liberals just whining about you're taking these kids from their parents. First of all, their parents have two choices. Three really. One, they can come to the border through the right channels, meaning they come right through the entry where they say, hey, listen, I'm seeking asylum. Okay. At that point, the kid's not going to be snatched from them. Or they can jump over the fence somewhere else. And then when the police or the border patrol catch them, and under that assumption say, hey, man, you breaking the law and we're going to approach you like that. We're going to prosecute you like you're a lawbreaker, because if you weren't trying to break the law, you would have came in the right way. See? And so when we have to do that to you, because see, it's too late for you to say, you know what? Whoa. I want asylum. Well, if you wanted asylum, you'd have came through the entry and asked for asylum. But see, you're jumping fences, or you're going through places where that's not an entry. See, so now you're trying to tell me that you were looking for something, but you're in the wrong place if that's what you're looking for. It would be kind of like you working at a place, a casino, and they say, hey, Jim, what you looking for? Hey, I'm going to the bathroom. It's right down there. And then they find Jim in the money counting room. And they say, Jim, what are you doing here? I was looking for the bathroom. Were you, Jim? Were you really looking for the bathroom? And this whole thing that, oh my God, you're taking kids away from their parents, that broke the law. I don't see what the problem is. In America, and this goes back again to all of these moral outraged people that are, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. If you're not crying and complaining about the same process that happens to Americans, shut it up. That's all I'm saying. Because I have seen many kids, most of the time black and Latino, at least from where I come from, get taken once the parent commits a crime. I don't understand that. So should we now just say, you know what? From now on, we think it's immoral once a parent commits a crime to separate the kid from him, regardless. So, I pull up and I say, son, stay in the car. I'm going to run in here and rob this convenience store. And when I come out and they grab me and they throw me in handcuffs, I said, whoa. I got my son in the car. You don't want to separate me from my kids, do you? That would be immoral. And they say, darn it, crap. You mean to tell me you guys are using kids to commit crimes so that you're not prosecuted? Darn it, you're taking advantage of our laws. You're taking advantage of our kindness. That's what they would say, because that's what's happening right now. Let me bring a kid, whether the kid is mine or not. I'm going to bring a kid, come across the border, and then when you snatch me up, I'm going to say, hey, man, I got a kid. And you can't prosecute me because I have a kid. And then this, okay, my fault, hands off. Go ahead. Just go ahead into the country. And finally, until these lawmakers on the Democratic side and all of the liberal media develop the same moral outrage for the kids in America that are being killed every single day, and they don't get on TV and cry about it. In fact, just a couple of days ago, little girl in Chicago visiting got shot in the head on the playground. No moral outrage. She's just one of many that are being killed around Chicago and other places, okay? We got all kind of problems with our own children, okay? But no moral outrage. You don't hear them get up on TV and highlight and show pictures of all of the victims in Chicago that are being killed. Capture a snapshot and put your own caption to it and your own narrative to it. Little girl playing on playground, shot and killed by all of the gang violence in Chicago ran by Democrats. The same Democrats that ignore these problems and then get on TV and whine about the problems at the border. The same Democrats that want to protect illegal immigrants, but yet they don't protect the kids in Chicago just playing on the playground. It's too much for them to get on TV and say, well, somebody come down here and do something about this. Kids are dying. They're being eternally separated from their parents because of all of this violence. Versus I'm separated for a day or two, then reunited with my parent. And in that time span where they are separated, I capture a couple pictures and I make it seem like these kids are going to be psychologically damaged for the rest of their life. Not to mention that the real child abuse is them having laws on the book that screams out with a bullhorn, come to America and violate our laws, because we don't really want to enforce them. What we really want to do is have a way for you guys to keep coming. And then once you come, The Democrats get on TV and they say, we got your back because this is about humanitarian issues. We want to make sure that you receive just a better life. Oh, by the way, since you're here, could you vote for us? Could you do that? And also while you're here, could you maybe work some jobs for cheap labor and help out our buddies that own businesses? Okay, we're going to kind of wink on the immigration thing because they want cheap labor, and also we want you guys to vote for us eventually. That's what we really want. But we also care about you having a better life and your children too. What do you mean you all are voting Republican? Oh, no. Go back. No, we don't want you coming over here if you're going to be doing that. What do you mean you're going to unionize and demand equal pay? No. Wait a minute. Go back. Forget. Kids ain't got nothing to do with this, okay? We don't care about the kids right now. We don't care about the kids. Because, see, if y'all come over here and start voting Republican, then we can't use identity politics against y'all. We can't say y'all victims. We can't treat y'all like we've been treating black people all this time by saying everybody's racist and everybody's against you and we're the ones that love you. We can't manipulate you and use you for votes so we can stay in power, okay? Not to mention when you come over here, we love you and all. We want to see your kids, and better life. But you know what? Don't come to our neighborhoods. We're going to get on TV. We're going to make it seem like the tears. We're going to throw water and go out and like the kids and the babies and ripping in Nazi Germany and with the concentration camps. But when everybody gets manipulated by all of our rhetoric and all of our narratives, fake narratives, you know what we're going to do? We're going to ship you guys somewhere where it's not a problem for us. Okay. Yeah. And all of those black people and Latino people who most of the time live in those areas that are impacted most by all of that, we've also manipulated them to get on board with our cause and get on social media and say, look what Trump's doing. Have them arguing against their own self-interest. We've also got them right in the back pocket. They don't see it, though. They don't see it because we're covering it up and making it seem like that it's Trump who's the racist and he hates kids and Mexicans. And by him just simply enforcing the law to try to protect us economically and with violence and all of the other things that could come along with this. Yeah, it's not that simple. It's because he's a racist and he wants to make America all white again. So we've got them convinced too. And that's why they're up there talking about, look what Trump's doing. He's separating kids and stuff. It just goes completely over the Americans' mind that possibly that we're using this as a political piece. Because see, if we really wanted to solve this issue, we would have changed the laws that would have prevented this child abuse, the real child abuse, from happening. Meaning this. You track through the desert with your kid. Sometimes it's your kid, sometimes it's not. The whole drug industry, the cartel industry, is using human trafficking and also bringing drugs across the border as well. So that's $1 billion industry that this corrupt entity is benefiting off of our weak immigration laws. And guess what? Another corrupt entity is benefiting off of it, which is the Democrats. They're benefiting off of it because they're saying, you know what we're doing? We're increasing our voter base. And we're also, in the meantime, making Trump look bad like he's the evil guy for just simply enforcing the law to try to protect America. Okay? To try to protect American citizens, not black ones, white ones, Latino ones, all of them that are American citizens, regardless of what your race is. So it has nothing to do with black, white, Latino, and this and that. It simply comes down to, are we going to be a sovereign nation or not? Are we going to focus more so on everybody else's kids, everybody else's situation, or our own situation? It's going to be this or that, okay? Yes, it's sad to see kids being victims of this, but you know why they're victims of it? Because we're enablers. The Democrats are enablers. When you put out something that's so advertising that people say, I got to have it. I've got to have it to the point where I'm willing to risk my kid, or crime is willing to get involved where they say, you know what? Since they got those garbage immigration laws, we're going to snatch a whole bunch of kids. We're going to use it for sex trafficking. We're going to use them so we can get across the border. We're going to ship them into some garbage foster homes when they get here. We're going to recycle them so we can keep bringing people across the border. And you know who's supporting this and backing this? See, we ain't got to worry about it, because at the end of the day, we're going to have the liberals on TV screaming and whining to continue this to go on and allow us to operate like criminals. But hey, it takes one to know one. So you got the criminal cartel in Washington, funky Democrats, and then you got the criminal cartel in South America that's doing this stuff, bringing them over, and that is real child abuse, because they don't really care about the children. Okay, let's be honest. All of this moral outrage is simply, number one, make Trump look bad. Number two, keep the border open and let we need them flowing. Keep them coming. We're going to act like we're doing something, but we're not. We're not going to really do something. We're not going to solve a problem, because then that right there would mess up our little situation we got going on, trying to replace all of the American voters who's waking up to how garbage we are, and the fact that we don't have any policies, any plan. All we have is identity politics. So we need a whole nother group that we can put in the place of, here's a whole nother identity politics group. We got the Latinos now. See, we've increased our voter base, because our voter base, we don't want them knowing stuff. We don't want them asking us questions about our policies. We just want them feeling like victims. That's it. So let's bring some more victims over. And as they're coming, people who's actually enforcing the law to protect American citizens, we're going to say they're the evil ones, and these people are the victims. Sounds like a pretty grand idea to me. And they're getting away with it because people who see this on TV go, yeah, I can't believe they letting this happen. That's why they're getting away with it. And those people got to wake up and ask themselves, it would be great if we can save the world, but we might want to start with saving our own citizens first. And that's why they lost the election, because they run around looking at every other country and all their problems and all of their people before they look at Americans. And when Americans say, hey, what about us? They say, shut up, you racist, you misogynist, you're sexist, you need to keep your mouth shut, you're a Nazi, and this and that. And they say, okay, we're going to shut up, but you know what we're going to speak? At the polls. And that is why we need to get out there in 2018 and vote all of these crappy, funky, nasty, dirty, corrupt Democrats completely out of Washington. And that's my take. You've been listening to Kevin in Kevin's Corner, keeping it 100% real. Because I'm just about sick of turning on the TV and seeing people like, the kids, they died. Why? And Trump so hell Hitler and the Japanese concentration camps and child abuse. What other words can we say, y'all? Kidnapping, misogyny, racism. What's another one of the words we normally use, y'all? How about did I say Nazi already? I think did we say Nazi? We say Nazi. Okay, KKK. Yeah, white privilege. Yeah, some other. We come up with some more, but I'm sick of turning on the TV and seeing that every day, trying to make us forget that Americans are important too. And Americans got to just choose. It's either going to be this or that. And you're going to make that choice when you vote. Because right now the Democrats think everybody's on board for this fake moral outrage that they're doing. They should all win an Oscar. Unbelievable. God bless you. If you like this video, hit like, share it. Find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter. If you want to donate to Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom to do so. But don't fall for the rhetoric, man. Stay focused. All right. God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.